Adult friendships aren't hard because you're busy. They're hard because you've been trained to overfunction. You picked it up from childhood, from school, from being the dependable one at work, from the invisible job you do in every room. You hold it all together. And I need every one of you listening to hear me right now. If it's always you initiating, it's not a friendship, it's a habit. How often are you the planner, the checker in, the let's get something on the calendar machine, the hey, just thinking of you, text factory, the person who keeps the group chat alive with memes and weather reports because otherwise it flatlines? How often are you carrying the whole thing on your back while telling yourself this is what adult life looks like? Let's get really honest. You're not just tired, you're resentful. You're still showing up to birthdays and baby showers. You're writing the sweet message on the card, and then you're walking to your car with that pit in your stomach thinking, why am I the only one who tries? You're lonely inside a full calendar. You've got 3 dinner plans and a yoga class, and somehow you feel like no one really sees you. The quiet humiliation of being left on, read by a friend you've Venmo'd for, cooked for, listened to cry on your couch at midnight. You're scrolling the text thread, reading your last 5 blue bubbles, and you're like, am I invisible? Am I too much? Or worse, am I not enough? Listen to me. You can love people and be exhausted by them. Both can be true. You can miss someone and still stop chasing them. That's not cruel. It's clarity. Because when you're the only one initiating, you're not maintaining connection. You're maintaining a pattern. And that pattern is expensive. It drains your energy, it erodes your self-respect, and it trains the people around you to give less while you give more. That is not being easygoing. That is you doing the emotional labor of an entire friendship and calling it normal. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stop forcing connection and start revealing the truth. We're going to use the let them framework. Let them be who they are. Let them show you their capacity, and we're going to pair it with one big move. You raise your standards for your time and energy. Not as a punishment, not as drama, but as the system that protects your life. And because I don't want this to be theoretical, I'm handing you 3 exact scripts so you're never guessing again. Script 1, the clean invite that preserves your dignity. Script 2, the follow-up that stops the chase cycle. Script 3, the release, how to let a friendship fade without bitterness. This is the moment you interrupt the habit. You stop carrying what isn't yours. You shift from please pick me to I choose people who choose me back. I love you and I believe in you. Let's get to work. Here's the diagnosis, and I need you to let it land. Overfunctioning in friendship looks like this. You anticipate before anyone asks. You accommodate before anyone considers you. You manage the emotional temperature of the room like it's your job. And you take responsibility for the entire momentum of the relationship. You're the calendar, the reminder, the apology, the Uber, the therapist, and the entertainment. You pre-write the excuse they might use to cancel so they don't have to feel bad. You phrase everything as a question with 6 escape hatches, no pressure. We can totally do another time. Honestly, it's not a big deal while you suffocate under the weight of being the one who keeps the whole thing alive. That is not you being thoughtful. That's you playing project manager for adults who are capable of pressing call or typing, hey, miss you. How about Thursday? And why do you do it? Because of people pleasing. You would rather be quietly disappointed than risk being too much by asking for reciprocity. You put on the costume of easygoing because you're terrified that a direct ask will expose you as needy. You swallow the ask, you swallow the feelings, you swallow the resentment, and you call it being chill. But hear me, choosing resentment over risk is not kindness, it's self-abandonment. You think you're avoiding drama. You're just relocating it inside your chest. There's an invisible contract running your friendships, and nobody but you signed it. It says, I'll keep showing up, I'll keep planning, I'll keep carrying this for both of us, and one day you'll notice and step up. The one-day wager, that fantasy IOU, is how you end up in limbo for months and years. You're investing on speculation. You're gambling your time against someone else's potential, and you keep extending the deadline because you don't want to face the truth that's already here. Meanwhile, you're training them without meaning to that they can contribute less and still have full access to you. Adulthood pours gasoline on this. Jobs, kids, partners, aging parents, limited bandwidth. When time gets scarce, the overfunctioner panics and doubles down. You ramp up the check-ins. You send the long update with 3 date options plus backup options plus a DoorDash gift card when they cancel. You bend your schedule like a pretzel because they're going through a lot. Guess what? So are you. And the more you give to prevent loss, the more you position yourself as the concierge of the friendship instead of a friend in an equal seat. This is the honest truth. Adult friendship gets painful when you confuse being easygoing with being responsible for the entire friendship. One is relaxed, the other is self-erasure with a smiley face. Loving yourself isn't a feeling, it's a job. It is the daily decision to stop donating your time and energy to relationships that do not invest back. It is looking at your calendar and saying, my presence is valuable, my energy is precious, and I am a person in the room, so I'm done underwriting low effort with high effort. Let them isn't punishment. It's the boundary that reveals who's actually available. And once you see it, you stop chasing, you stop explaining, and you start allocating. That's the shift. That's you getting your life back. Let me say this as plainly as I can because I want it tattooed on your brain. Let them is not passive. It is not giving up. It is the most courageous boundary you can set because it takes your hands off other people's side of the relationship and puts them back on your own life. You stop controlling and you start observing. You stop auditioning for closeness and you start collecting data. And yes, it will feel like withdrawal at first because your drug is chasing, texting, planning, filling the space so you don't have to feel the truth. So what does let them mean in friendship? Let them be busy. Let them forget. Let them not text back. Let them not initiate. Let them do exactly what they would do without your gentle prodding and your 8 reminder emojis. Because that behavior is information, and information is freedom. If you never stop nudging, you will never know their capacity. If you're always the engine, you can't measure the car. Let them means the next time the thread goes quiet, you don't rush in with a meme to resuscitate it. You sit, you watch. Who pings? Who plans? Who doesn't? That's the truth. Here's the half most people miss because it makes you powerful. Let me decide what I will tolerate. Let me protect my weekends and my nervous system. Let me stop performing closeness by sending paragraphs to people who give me crumbs. Let me allocate my energy to people who reciprocate without me having to twist myself into a pretzel. Let me be a person in the room instead of the concierge of everybody else's life. You pair let them with let me, and suddenly you are not waiting, you are choosing. You aren't angry, you're accurate. Why is this hard? Because initiating has been your anxiety management. When the silence hits, your brain screams, fix it, fix it, fix it. So you overfunction, not because you're generous, but because you're scared of loss, scared of being ordinary in someone's life, scared of the feeling that maybe you cared more. I love you. And we are done outsourcing our self-worth to other people's response times. Feel the twitch to chase and breathe instead. 10 seconds, put the phone down. If they want in, they'll come closer. If they don't, you just got clarity without the performance. And let's lock a standard in right now. You don't need a lot of friends. You need reciprocal ones. Reciprocity is not a vibe. It is behavior over time. It's the person who initiates sometimes without a prompt, who offers specifics, who follows through, who circles back after a misplan, who remembers the thing you said you were nervous about and checks in. Not speeches, calendars, not intention, pattern. Let them is how you stop forcing connection and start seeing who is actually available for real friendship. The second you honor what you see, you reclaim your time. And when you reclaim your time, you make space for the people who can meet you in the middle. No chase required. Language is where we lie to ourselves. So let's clean it up. We're just both busy is a story. I'm always the one who reaches out is a fact. Feel the difference in your body. One keeps you trapped in a comforting fog. The other gives you data you can act on. And I need you to get ruthless about the words you use because your phrasing is either protecting the pattern or protecting your peace. You keep calling a dynamic low maintenance because it sounds mature and adult and zen, but what you're actually tolerating is low effort, and that's not wise. It's wasteful. What is low maintenance? It's healthy independence. It's two grown adults with lives who don't need constant contact, who can go a couple weeks without texting, and then pick it up with warmth, ease, and specifics. It's mutual bids in small ways. You send a podcast, they send a meme. You ask, want to grab coffee next week? They respond, yes, Tuesday at 8:30 or Friday at 1. There's follow through. There's repair if someone drops the ball. There's no invisible concierge. It's simple. It breathes. It's not dramatic because both people carry some weight. What is low effort? Chronic non-reciprocity dressed up as adulthood. It's let's catch up soon, 47 times, and 0 dates offered. It's you offering 3 options and getting, I'll check my calendar, followed by silence until you prod again. It's apologies without action. It's paragraphs from you and a thumbs up from them. It's them liking your update and never asking a question back. And here's the emotional math. If you initiate 10 times and they initiate 0, that's not adulthood, that's imbalance. Don't tell me about their intention. Show me their calendar. Show me a single receipt of effort. And I get it, you're not stupid. You're sentimental. You're running a fantasy loop where you reference who they used to be. But in college, we were inseparable. Before kids, we talked every day. When she first moved here, she was so present. You're relating to the ghost of an earlier version, not the person in front of you now. Seasons change, bandwidth shifts. That can be true, and at the same time, the pattern can be the pattern. You don't punish them for evolving, you just stop pretending the evolution didn't happen. Precision check. Notice these phrases. We should, sometime, soon. That is fog. Thursday, 7 p.m. at Lalo, I'll book it. That is effort. Miss you with nothing attached is a feeling. Miss you, I'm free Sunday 3 to 5, want to walk the loop is a bid. Low maintenance friendships still have bids. Low effort friendships have vibes and vibes only. So here's your first decision point, and I want you to answer out loud because your nervous system needs to hear you. Am I willing to tolerate a friendship that only exists when I push it forward? Yes or no? No shame either way, but choose on purpose. If the answer is no, then stop calling it low maintenance so you can keep donating your energy. Call it what it is and apply the standard. Let them be exactly who they are without your nudging, and you'll see the truth fast. A friendship can be casual without being one-sided. Adult doesn't mean apathetic. Busy doesn't mean bare minimum. And you, my friend, are done romanticizing imbalance as life, all right? Standards time. Because without a system, you slide right back into the fog. Here's the adult friendship standards framework. And it is so simple, you can run it in your head in under a minute. Time, energy, initiation. That's it. 3 dials. You don't need a spreadsheet. You need a scoreboard. Ask these 3 questions over a real window of life, 90 days, not 90 minutes, because reciprocity is a pattern, not a text. Time, do they make any? Not do they say they want to, not do they miss you in the abstract. Do they create, protect, or accept time with you? A 2-0-minute walk counts. A coffee on the calendar counts. A voice memo that actually lands when you ask for support counts. Concrete metric. In the last 90 days, were there at least 2 instances where they made or honored time with you without you dragging the plan over the finish line? If yes, green light. If no, data point. Busy people still protect minutes for what matters. Micro hangs are receipts. Energy. Do you feel warmer or drained after contact? This is not about perfect moods. It's about the net effect. Do they ask a question back? Do they hold a thread when you share something vulnerable? Do they own their impact if they drop a ball? Quick test. 2 out of 3 recent interactions left you lighter, seen, or steady green. If most touches leave you tense, small, or hustling to be interesting, that's a red flag. Promises are air. Your nervous system is the audit. Initiation. Do they ever reach for you? Please hear this, because a lot of you overfunctioners twist this one. Initiating is not constant texting or daily check-ins. Initiating is evidence. It saw this and thought of you. It's, I'm free Thursday after 6, want to catch up. It's, I had to cancel and I'm bummed. Can we do next Wednesday? I'll book it. Metrics. In a 90-day window, at least a third of the touches came from them, or they proactively rescheduled within 72 hours when something fell through. If you stopped initiating for 30 days and the friendship flatlines, that's clarity, not cruelty, clarity. Now, put it together. Score your top 5 relationships. Time, energy, initiation. Green, yellow, or red. 2 greens and a yellow. Okay? Curiosity and a small bid to test capacity. 1 green and 2 reds. Stop overgiving. Move them to acquaintance energy. 3 reds. Release the fantasy and reclaim those hours. This isn't punishment. Standards are not a guillotine. They are guardrails. They protect you from the quiet poison of resentment. And I want you to hear this with love. Resentment is usually your boundary telling you, I am violating myself. They're not a villain, you're overfunctioning. Raise the standard, the resentment drops. This is your operating system now. Behavior over excuses, patterns over promises, months over moments. And when you see what you see, you act accordingly. Which brings us to the next piece, because clarity without language keeps you stuck performing hints. You need words that are clean, confident, and specific so you can invite, follow up, or release without chasing. I've got the exact scripts. Let's go get you the sentences. Here's the first sentence you need, and I want you to feel how clean this is, because this is you stepping into the room as a person with a spine and a calendar. Hey, I miss you. Want to grab coffee next week, Tuesday or Thursday? Period. Send. That's it. No essay, no TED Talk, no 14 emojis, and a preloaded apology. Another option for the walkers. I've got a free window Saturday morning. Want to go for a walk? 2 specifics. Clear bid. Then you stop talking. Why is this the power move? Because connection doesn't require a performance. It requires a decision. When you offer 2 concrete options, you're making it easy for an adult to choose without you turning into their scheduling assistant. Tuesday or Thursday is a decision. Sometime soon is fog. One respects your time. The other bleeds it out all over your phone. Let's role play the clean version. You, hey, I miss you. Want to grab coffee next week, Tuesday or Thursday? Them, Thursday works. You, great, 10:30 at Park Cafe? I'll book it. Done. See the speed. See the dignity. You didn't contort. You didn't sell yourself. You didn't over-explain why coffee might be low lift and how you can come to their side of town, and also you'll pay. And also it's totally okay if they hate you. You made a normal ask, like a normal adult who values their own presence. Now let me show you what not to do, because some of you are ankle taped to this habit. Not this, hey, OMG, I know you're so busy and I'm the worst and it's totally not a big deal if you can't. I was just thinking maybe if the stars align, we could hang. No pressure. I can drive to you, work around your schedule, bring snacks. And honestly, if you hate coffee, we can do tea or smoothies, or I can just wave from my car. Lol. That's you auditioning for a yes while teaching them your time is disposable. Also, not this, miss you sometime. That puts the whole labor back on them and keeps you in the land of someday, which is where friendships go to die. Clean invite rules. 1, lead with a feeling or effect, miss you or free window. Then pair it with 2 options. 2, no disclaimers. If you hear your fingers typing, I know you're busy, stop. Do not manage their calendar or their guilt. 3, do not pre-reject yourself. You don't add totally fine if not, because you are signaling you're prepared to be dropped. Offer the bid, let them respond. 4, after you hit send, you do not chase. The follow-up has its own script. You'll learn that next. Right now, your discipline is to make the ask and sit on your hands. Subtext check. This is you acting like a person in the room. You are not asking for permission to exist in someone's life. You're signaling self-respect by being specific, and you're calm because your worth is not riding on their answer. If they're in, great. If they're not, great. That's data for your standards. You will be amazed how many dynamics shift the second you stop performing cool girl and start communicating like a grown-up with a calendar. 2 options: send, breathe, let them. I love you. I believe in you. And I want you to practice this tonight with one person. Decision over performance. It's as simple as that. You know this moment because it lives in your messages. They said yes and then never picked a time. They hit you with let's do it and then Houdini'd out of the thread. You're sitting there with an open tab in your brain, holding 3 potential windows, checking your phone like you're waiting on lab results. That's limbo. That's the slow leak of your energy. And I need you to hear me. This is where most of you start performing again. You send a meme, you soften the ask, you do the calendar dance, stop. We're going to cut straight through the fog with 1 clean follow-up and 1 boundary that ends the chase. Here's the exact follow-up. Hey, still want to get together? If not, totally okay, just let me know. That sentence is oxygen because it does 2 things at once. It reopens the loop and it gives them permission to be honest. Then you add the boundary that changes everything. I'm free X day time. If it doesn't work, we'll catch it another time. Send it. And then this is the muscle you stop initiating after that. Let's role play. Scenario 1, best case. You send, they reply, yes. Thursday at 6, you, great. 6 p.m. at Lalo, I'll book it. Done. See the speed? See the dignity? 0 contortion. Scenario 2, the squirmy one. You send, they say, this week is crazy. Sorry, with no option. You, all good. I'm free Saturday 10 to 12. If it doesn't work, we'll catch it another time. That's it. If they don't bite, you do not keep tossing dates like confetti. Scenario 3, silence or a thumbs up to your follow-up. You wait. No second nudge. No just bumping this. Because the absence of a plan is the plan. That's let them in action. They are revealing their capacity without your propping. Why does this work? Because ambiguity is the parasite that eats your time. And this language starves it. Still want to get together is clear. If not, totally okay, just let me know, invites a no without shame, which is how you get out of purgatory. I'm free X day offers 1 concrete window. If it doesn't work, we'll catch it another time. Communicates, I won't orbit your schedule for weeks. The subtext is powerful. I respect your life and I respect mine. I'm available, not waiting. Now coach your nervous system through this because I can feel some of you sweating. You're not being needy, you're being clear. Needy is, I can't be okay until you pick me. Clear is, I'm closing this loop either way. Clarity is kindness to both of you. It protects your energy, it prevents quiet resentment, and it stops you from making someone a main character who barely has a cameo in their own text. You are a person in the room. You prefer a clean no to a fuzzy maybe. Say it out loud. I choose clarity over limbo. Tactical rule. After you send the boundary line, you don't initiate again. If they come back with a real option inside a reasonable window, beautiful, book it. If they don't, you've got your data. No villain, no drama, just standards. You're reclaiming weeks, not minutes. Send the follow-up to the one person who's been floating in your messages. Then breathe. Let them, and hear me in your ear. I love you. I believe in you. And your time matters too much to waste it in friendship limbo. Okay, so what happens when you send the clean invite, you send the clean follow-up, and the data's the data? No plan, no effort, or a pattern you can't unsee. This is where most people spiral into speeches, screenshots, and a farewell tour of receipts. Don't. Release is not rejection, it's reclamation. You are not punishing them. You are stopping the quiet self-abandonment that has you overpaying for a seat they're not sitting in. It's love. Love for them as they are, love for you as you are, love for reality. There are 2 ways to do this, and I want you to choose based on proximity and history. Option A is the silent release for chronic non-reciprocity. It's a standard, not a stunt. You say to yourself out loud because your nervous system listens when you speak, I'm going to stop initiating and let reality be reality. Then you do exactly that. You stop pinging. You mute the thread. You take their birthday out of your mental project plan. If they reach out with a real plan, great, meet them in the middle. If they don't, that's the relationship calibrating to its true level without you propping it up. No grand exit. No cold shoulder theatrics. Just gravity. Option B is the spoken release for closer friends, where you want to honor the bond and your bandwidth. You deliver it clean and calm. I care about you, and I've noticed I'm usually the one reaching out. I'm going to take a step back. If you want to make plans, I'd love that. That's it. Notice the language. I care about you warmth first. I've noticed ownership, not accusation. You didn't say you never. You said, I'm usually the one, which is specific and true. I'm going to take a step back. You're introducing an element of, I won't be here doing the same dance forever, which is honest, not hostile. If you want to make plans, I'd love that door's open, but it swings both ways now. What don't you do? You don't dump your diary in their lap and call it closure. You don't litigate history. You don't hit them with, after everything I've done for you. Emotional hygiene is the rule. No scorekeeping speeches, no character assassinations, no subtweets, no soft block victory laps. You are not trying to win a case. You are trying to protect your life. The more words you use, the more you signal you're negotiable. You're not. You're clear. Now, the part we skip because it's tender, you might grieve. You might cry in your car. You might feel phantom reach for my phone moments and realize you're mourning a season, not a villain. That's normal. That's healthy. Identity shift always comes with a dip. You were the chaser. Now you're the chooser. Breathe. Move your body. Put that freed hour into a walk, a class, a community event, a small bid with someone new. Space is not emptiness. Space is an invitation. Say it with me. Releasing a one-sided friendship is not rejection. It's reclaiming my time and making room for reciprocity. This is you aligning your calendar with your standards. This is you acting like a person in the room. Send the sentence if you need to. Take the silent step if you need to. And hear me right now in case nobody else tells you today. I love you. I believe in you. And your life is too precious to spend it resuscitating what won't breathe back. Now comes the part nobody warns you about the dip. You stop initiating, you stop propping the thing up, and the silence roars. Your brain says, see, you were the glue. Without you, there's nothing, which must mean you're not lovable. No, that's not the truth. That's your nervous system withdrawing from its favorite anxiety medication, chasing. For years, the little hit of sending the text, offering the plan, patching the hole, that was how you soothed the panic. You took the bottle away. Of course there's discomfort. Of course there's space. Breathe. The emptiness you feel isn't evidence you did the wrong thing. It's evidence that you finally made room. Let's get accurate about what this feeling is and is not. Loneliness is a signal to build. It's your life saying, hey, create, put some structure here, add people and places where bids can happen. Incompatibility, on the other hand, is a signal to stop investing. It's data over time that the effort is one-sided. The energy leaves you drained. The initiation is always you. When you stop chasing and someone doesn't step forward, that's incompatibility talking, not your worth. Do not mix up a clean read of a pattern with a story that you're unchosen. You're not unchosen. You're unhooked from the wrong thing. Here's how you stabilize without sprinting back to old habits. Grab a piece of paper, yes, right now, and write down the names of every person in the last 6 months who showed even a small sign of reciprocity. The neighbor who texted you the dog park invite. The coworker who followed up to reschedule. The friend who sent a voice memo after your big day. However small, if they reached, they go on the list. Now star 3 names. Those are your nurture list for the next 30 days. 1 simple bid per person per month. That could be walk Saturday 9, or I thought of you when I saw this made me smile. Specific, light, consistent. You are watering what is already sprouting instead of singing to the dirt and hoping it becomes a tree. And yes, the urge will come to relapse. You'll feel the itch to send a just checking in to the person you just released because the discomfort spikes. Let it spike. Feel it in your chest. Count backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put the phone face down and move your body for 90 seconds. Drink water, step outside, message someone from your nurture list instead, or place a small bid into a space where new people live, a class, a standing group, a community event. You are not medicating the feeling with chasing. You're channeling it into building. This is the bridge. You don't just stop chasing. You start creating. Community doesn't appear because you want it. It grows because you plant, water, and repeat. Reps, proximity, small bids. That's where we're heading next. For now, honor the dip. Treat the loneliness as sacred space, not a verdict. Keep your standards, keep your list, keep breathing. You are a person in the room, and this room just got bigger. I love you. I believe in you. And the space you feel right now is not a problem. It's your future making room to walk in. All right? Here's the truth that frees you. You don't find community like it's a lost earring on the sidewalk. You build it like a muscle reps, proximity, small bids, again and again. Adults don't stumble into friend groups because the vibe was right. Adults create rhythm. Same places, same faces, small consistent invitations. That's how the roots form. Not a grand gesture, not one heroic party where you host 16 people and then collapse. Reps. So give your life anchor lanes. Pick 1 or 2 places where the same humans show up and commit to 8 weeks. Same slot if you can. A class you actually like, yoga, ceramics, improv, language, strength training. A volunteer shift at the food pantry, Saturday 9 to 11. The animal shelter on Thursdays. The voter drive on Sundays. A walking group or run club. They meet every week. Lapped conversations turn into names. Names turn into plans. Faith communities, if that's your lane. Services, small groups, service teams, potlucks, hobby meetups, board games, photography walks, makerspace nights, gardening clubs, coworker to friend transitions at the office. You already have proximity. You just need to step it half a click outside the building. Stop scanning for my people like a radar and start building for 8 weeks like a contractor. Now the tool you use inside those lanes is the small bid, low stakes, clear, time bound. I'm grabbing coffee after class, 20 minutes. Want to join? I'm walking the loop at 7 a.m. tomorrow, 1 in for 1 lap. We meet every Thursday. You coming next week? Lunch on the steps at 12:30. I'll be there if you want to join. That's it. No monologue. No, we should all do a weekend away. You're testing reciprocity without overinvesting. You're matching energy, not forcing intimacy. If they bite, you add 1 more rep. If they don't, beautiful. You saved your energy and you keep moving. Why does this work? Because closeness is a byproduct of repeated easy contact, not intensity. Familiarity lowers the wall. Micro conversations compound. You learn who follows through, who laughs at the same dumb stuff, who asks a question back. You let friendships earn deeper access over time instead of granting first-class status to a stranger because you trauma bonded over a parking lot rant. Standards meet reality here. Time, do they make any? Even 20 minutes. Energy, do you leave lighter? Initiation, do they ever reach or reschedule? Green lights, you invest. Red lights, you release. No drama, just data. Make this operational right now. Choose 2 lanes for the next 8 weeks. Put them on your calendar like workouts. At each lane, make 1 small bid, then let them. If they reciprocate once, you offer a second bid the next week. If they don't, you don't chase, you rotate your bids to another familiar face. 2 small bids a week, 8 weeks straight. That's 16 clean reps. Watch what compounds when you stop auditioning and start repeating. This is how adults build community. Reps, proximity, small bids, standards, not magic, rhythm. You are a person in the room. And when you show up on purpose, the room starts to feel like home. I love you. I believe in you. And your people are not missing. They are 1 rep away. Go put them on your calendar. This is the line in the sand moment. Hear me and say it with me because identity is a decision. You rehearse. I am not available for one-sided anymore. Not available in my calendar. Not available in my messages. Not available in my nervous system. Loving yourself isn't a hallmark feeling. It's resource allocation. It's you allocating your time and energy to people who meet your standards. Time, energy, initiation. That's love in motion. That's self-respect on the calendar. You know the arc now. You disrupted the chase habit. You saw the truth of overfunctioning and people-pleasing and how it kept you in limbo, exhausted and resentful. You learned let them not as passivity, but as a boundary that reveals who's actually available. You got the 3 scripts that keep your dignity intact: the clean invite, the clean follow-up, the clean release. You braved the loneliness dip without sprinting back to perform for crumbs. And you started building like an adult reps proximity, small bids, so connection has a chance to compound. That's the whole playbook. Pattern spotted, pressure dropped, standards installed, language applied, space made, community built. Now lock it in with a personal rule. You can run without thinking. I initiate once, I follow up once, and then I release. That's it. That's your operating system. One clean ask, one clean check-in. If there's no move toward you, you let gravity do what it does, and you pour that hour into someone or something that pours back. You will be tempted to add a just one more. Don't. You are not a concierge. You are a person in the room. And if someone can't meet you there, that does not mean you're too much. It means you are finally asking for normal reciprocity. Adults who want friendship make time, match energy, and reach. You don't need to be chosen by everyone. You need to choose friendships that choose you back. Out of 8 billion people, you're not auditioning for all of them. You're building a table with a few chairs for the ones who show up and sit down. There is urgency here. Your time is a non-renewable resource. I can't get it back for you. No one can. So let's stop spending it where there are no receipts of effort. Standards are not punishment. They are protection. They protect your joy, your focus, your emotional bandwidth, and the future friendships that need room to land. So here's your move today, not tomorrow. Pick the one sentence you've been avoiding and send it in the next 30 minutes. The clean invite, the clean follow-up, or the clean release. One sentence and your life shifts because you shift. I love you and I believe in you. You are a person in the room. Decide that you're unavailable for one-sided. Allocate your life like it matters because it does, and go choose the friendships that choose you back.